welcome back to Weird Dough, the show where we're going to make every recipe in Kim Joy from the Great British Bake Off's cookbook.
Weird Dough, Kim Joy Bakes.
So today is the continuation of last week's episode where we are going to finish the Snowy Wonderland cake. We've already made the cookies. Now we have to make the cake and then frost it and decorate it. It's gonna look just like this, I know it. I'm exceptionally confident. I cannot wait. So today we're gonna make the ginger, pecan, and salted caramel cake. I think it sounds great for the Snowy Wonderland because it has like some Christmas vibes to it with ginger and pecans, and obviously caramel is like so good, why not? So let's get started. So for this cake, just like our carrot cake, we have nuts. So we have these pecans here, and just like the carrot cake, we have to lightly toast them. So we're gonna put them on our tray, and we're gonna pop them in the oven while it preheats. Hopefully we don't forget they're in there. Oh my God, the walnuts. So this cake is made a little differently than, well, any other cake I've ever made in my life. What you do is you combine the salt, the butter, the brown sugar, which again, third recipe in a row, no white sugar, brown only. Sounds good to me. For this, we also have all of this molasses that goes in there. Remember that molasses monster in Candyland? I think about that every single time with molasses. That game is like pretty good actually. Naturally, someone obsessed with baking and desserts likes the game Candyland. So what we do is we take this over to the stove, stir it constantly until it's melted. Our butter and molasses and sugar is all nicely melted and ready to go. So what we do is we take our flour. In this recipe, we use a self-rising flour, and we add our spices to it. So we have 4 tablespoons of ginger here, which is so much ginger, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and we're just gonna mix that around a little till it's like just a little combined. Oh, look at that. Winter goodness in a pot. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, it's all in there. And it says to stir quickly until smooth. Okay, this looks pretty smooth to me. It looks ready to go. Get off, get off. This is a really sticky batter. So what we're gonna add next is this chopped crystallized ginger that we have here. And I think it's gonna be really good. We're gonna do our own pro tip that we remembered from my mom last time, and do the eggs one at a time in a separate bowl. Beat that bad boy. No shells. Ah, there we go. That looks much more like cake batter. I don't know. Doesn't taste great. We'll see. So this part of the cake is a little different. I've never done this before. So you take warm milk and you mix together your baking soda with it. I looked up why you do this online, and it says that it will activate the baking soda and it will make your cake more fluffy. So hopefully that works. Always an extra step with Kim Joy. Add the baking soda and mix it until it becomes frothy. It doesn't say how long to mix it or how frothy it should be. I don't know about this. All these extra steps, but I don't know if they make a difference. It's a little frothy. So the next thing is you just dump it in here, beat it with your balloon whisk until just combined, and then it says to immediately bake it. Oh boy, it's so sloshy. Oh, there we go. It's turning into a batter. Is this scrambled egg? Oh no, it's not scrambled egg. It's the crystallized ginger. I'm so worried about there being clumps in there, and there's supposed to be those clumps. They're the flavor clumps. Duh. We have our prepared cake tins here. We actually got 7-inch tins, like Kim Joy always suggests using, but we only have 2, and we're probably gonna make 3 cakes. It's a little tricky because she says with that milk frothing, you're supposed to bake it immediately. So 2 of them we're gonna bake immediately. 1, not quite so rapid. So hopefully that one will puff up as well and be nice and light and fluffy, but fingers crossed, we'll see. Okay, here it is. Pop it in the oven, 25 minutes, and we'll have a cake. Oh my God. I forgot about the pecans. Hopefully they're not burnt. Oh, they're not. Oh, they're close though. We almost burnt them. That was a very close call. Now, 25 minutes and we'll have a cake. So our cakes are out of the oven. They're cooling in the freezer and the fridge, and they rose up so nicely. They look so good. I'm really happy with them. So now we're gonna make a few decorations. So to make the trees that Kim Joy has on there, she says to use something called sugar paste, but here it's called gum paste. So I got this at New York Cake, my favorite cake store going, but they only had white. So we're gonna have to dye it green for the trees. So what it looks like is this, and it's kind of like fondant, but harder. So it'll be really awesome to make the trees out of, and hopefully they harden and then they stand up, which will be great. I've never used this before, this is my first time, but I'm assuming you dye it very similarly to how you dye fondant. So we have here our forest green. We're gonna squeeze a little in there and just squish it down. I am prepared to have green fingers for the next month. But this is kind of fun. It's kind of like silly putty. Is kind of what it feels like. Well, half the food dye is on my arm. Does anybody else do this and not be a mess when they're done? Or is this just like what happens? Here we have it, green. So I got this little mold, similar to Kim Joy's mold. This is the first time I've done this as well, so let's see if it works. Fingers crossed. So what you do is you take some cornstarch, and you brush it into the mold, which I guess is what helps it to not stick. That's a little too much. I think you just press it in. Well, it looks like a tree, but I don't think that's right. Maybe if you ball it up and press it like this. New pro tip, cornstarch your hands. And then kind of like go like that, maybe. It's just about the size that we want it to be instead of extra hanging over the edge. Moment of truth. Oh my God, it is so cute. Still very moldable. It's not hard at all. I don't know how this is gonna stand up. Kim Joy doesn't even say to put it in the fridge or anything, but like this is never gonna stand on the cake. I don't know. It is cute. Kim Joy, we need you to watch so you can tell us what to do. I think it is hardening, actually. We have all our trees here that we made, the skinny ones, the medium ones, the really fat ones, which is probably not right, but there are just in case fail safe, because they will stand up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of this gold glitter. You know I love edible glitter. So pretty. So what you do, you might have seen this before, is you dip your brush in a little bit of vodka and then you dip it in the glitter and it becomes a paint. We just want like a tiny bit on our brush to go on the trees a little to make them a little more like glittery and festive. Oh my God, I love it. Already obsessed. Guys, it looks so cool. They're so festive and they're so pretty, and I think they are hardening. They are. Great news, great news. The other fun little thing she makes are little tiny red holly berries. So we have a red here that's called Christmas red. Appropriate. And we'll just put one squirt in here. That was a big squirt. It is exactly the texture of silly putty. Exactly. Kind of wild. Swallow it up. Stick it on our plate. Oh, slippery little suckers. I'm so excited to put it together. I can't wait to see our cookies. The mayor's house, my apartment building. That's probably good for now. So now we're making some buttercream frosting. We're just gonna add in our sugar, mix together our butter, throw a little milk in there, and you have an American buttercream. American buttercream is the easiest to make. It's 3 ingredients plus flavor of your choice. We are gonna flavor ours vanilla, and that's it. Careful that the sugar doesn't go everywhere. It will. Ta-da! Buttercream frosting. And that's all there is to it, ladies and gents. Now you can decorate a cake. It tastes incredible, of course. So now we have everything, Now we have everything ready to assemble. We have our 3 cakes, our Christmas trees, our frosting, our cookies. Let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is this cake requires some salted caramel. So we made salted caramel with our carrot cake the other day, so I still had some left over. It looks a little separated, but it's still like pretty goopy and tastes incredible. So we're gonna use that. So here's the thing. Cake number 3 is very broken. It's stuck to the bottom of the pan. You can see it didn't go so well. We're gonna make this the bottom cake and hope for the best. So we're gonna try to like reform it. We'll put a little bit of frosting to glue it, and we'll kind of glue it back together. This is a first for me, but I want the 3 layers, and plus I'm sure it still tastes great. It's just a little broken, and there's gonna be so much on top of it, no one will ever even know. Great. So our beautiful first friend here, we're going to fill one of our piping bags with our buttercream. Whoop. There we go. Just a little around. Maybe just a little more. This This is what I always do, and then I run out of frosting for the sides. Don't go crazy. Now, we're going to put our caramel, and you put your pecans in to give it that nutty crunch. On British baking show, they're always like, oh, it would have been nice if you got it all the way to the edge. So we're gonna get it all the way to the edge. That looks incredible. Smooth it on down. And here's our top layer. Okay, here we go. Guys, I'm really excited. It's so big. Holy cannoli, it is so big. She is a beaut. Those layers aren't too uneven. They're a little uneven, but not crazy. Okay, let's cover it. Now, in the baking world, this is what they call a crumb coat. So you do a crumb coat to lock in all of the crumbs so you won't see them on your final coat. Now, I have yet to master the crumb coat, but maybe today my luck will change. Whoa, this might be enough. We're gonna go around it with this bad boy. Not bad so far. Flatten off the top. You also want to make sure, like these giant gaps, you want to make sure to fill those with frosting. So when you cut into the slice, there's not like a huge gap. So I have this handy dandy flattener thing. Not totally sure if you're supposed to do this on the crumb coat or not, but we're gonna go around just one time, just to smooth it out. Not bad. Guys, I feel like I did a good crumb coat. I feel proud of myself right now. I'm really excited. This is like a really good crumb coat. So we have our spectacular crumb coat, better than ever before. We are going to stick it in the fridge for like 15 minutes so that it all like hardens and just comes together. And then we're gonna frost it with the real frosting. 15 minutes. So our beautiful cake is all chilled, nice and hard. All the crumbs are set, ready to go. We're gonna set aside just a little bit of our white frosting to make the little snowflakes going down the side. Now we're going to dye our white frosting sky blue, but a very light sky blue. So I'm gonna put like 1 drop in here. I forgot how hard it is to mix things since I've been using that mixer. It really takes a nice arm workout. I love this beautiful icy blue. Perfect. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it nice and flat like Kim Joy's, but we are certainly gonna give it our all. This is the moment where you need the most frosting. Nice fat tip. For this part, you kind of want to have a ton of frosting, and that's what will make it smooth in the end, because you can go around a bunch of times and you still have the frosting. Let's start at the bottom and go nice and slow and steady all the way around. Go back and fill in the spots you missed. I don't know, guys, we're running out of frosting. Ugh, I don't want to run out. This is what always happens to me. I guess if you're a pro like Kim Joy, you use less frosting because you're better at it. I need a ton to make anything look even sort of good. This blue is beautiful. I love an icy holiday. We're going to start flat, and then the second round, turn it, turn it, turn it. All right, this is a big deal. Here we go. Not bad, but not great. So let's go back in and add some more frosting. The tip is, for all of the places that you have low frosting or any holes like here, that means you need more frosting. So you should put a little more in that area and then go around again. Oh, see these giant ones? We gotta fill them up. Okay, so we filled it all in. We're gonna whoop it around one more time. It looks good to me. I don't know how to get it perfectly smooth. So we're gonna go with it. I don't think it looks bad. Plus it's supposed to look like a sky, so I kind of like that it looks like that. One of the things Kim Joy says is to leave the tops bumpy like this, and then you paint that gold. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to cover this whole top with icing sugar. It's supposed to look like snow. Oh my God, it does look really pretty. Winter Wonderland. So far so good, you guys. Now, we are going to paint the edges gold. Gold paint, vodka, paint the edges. Let's give it a try. It's definitely working. It looks awesome. This looks so beautiful. I love it. So wintry. You can see the gold on the edges. If you remember from last week, I was afraid that our cookies may break when going into the cake. Perhaps we'll start with one that I don't love. I think we're just gonna try to stick it in. There's no method given here. It's in. Let's put my favorite, my apartment building, in the front. Fingers crossed we don't break the mayor's house again. And let's try to put him up here. Let's see a tree. Oh, they did get nice and hard. Our city is coming out. So cute so far. I'm just kind of lean them in the front, I think. This is really a good trick for the top. Kind of make the little space for your cookie to live in. Oh my god, I love our village. Okay, let's put some little red balls around. So we're gonna do our finishing touches, our little snowfall, and I also got some stars, which I think are fun, that we're gonna try to stick on there too. And we're just gonna pipe tiny little dots all around our cake. I think the key is to try to get these to be very random. Somehow I'm doing them very much in line. I love our city. I don't ever want to cut it. And where should we put the stars? Should we just put them on top of the trees maybe? It'd be kind of pretty. I like that. I literally couldn't be happier. I love it so much. I'm so obsessed with it. It is so cool. So the last thing we're gonna do is just take a tiny bit and just make it snow on our town. So just a little, and just make it snow all over everybody. And there we have it. And there is our cake. It's beautiful and it's perfect. Okay guys, we did it. We made the snowy Christmas cake out of Kim Joy's cookbook. I just love it. I love every little detail about it. I love the gold. I love the houses. The little trees came out so cute. Turns out everything stands up, which was the big fear. And it looks a lot like hers. Pretty good. Somehow her cake looks taller than mine. Or maybe her cookies are smaller. That sounds right. I don't do anything that's actually too dainty. Now we have to try it, which kind of makes me feel a little sad because I love it so much and I just think it is a masterpiece. I think it's a beautiful work of art. So I'm gonna try to cut a piece out of the back. So we'll take the little tree out, we'll move the cookie, and we'll cut into it. Smooth like butter, baby. Okay, looks pretty good. The cake looks nice and fluffy. They always touch it on the show. Oh yeah, spring's back. That filling looks so good. Okay, here we go. I'll tell you what, I thought I wasn't gonna like this cake, but it's actually super good. It's a moist cake. It's not that sweet, which is fine since it's loaded with caramel and buttercream. So much frosting. Look at that. How do those pro bakers do it? I will say, I do wish that we had cream cheese frosting and not buttercream because it would be so good with cream cheese frosting. It's so good this way though. See you next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have thumbs, and feel free to subscribe. If you want to see the behind the scenes footage, follow me on Instagram.